I just learned something new about the YouTube algorithm that's going to help your long form videos get far more views. And I'm going to tell you right now, it has nothing to do with the click-through rate, the average watch time, or any of the other basic tips that gurus give you. And the best part about it, YouTube has not hidden this from us. It's right inside of our analytics, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Recently, I had a video on my channel that broke out and started getting far more views than my videos typically get within a short period of time. And so I got interested, why was this video performing so well? And so I had to look at some of the more common things to see if that was the issue, and I determined that it was not. So I'm going to walk you through that process so you can see which aspects of this video are performing as usual. That way we can try to isolate what's making this video perform so successfully. So this is the video that we're going to be talking about right here. It's why your followers never see your content and how to fix it. And something I want you to pay attention to on the screen right now is the fact that the tags are not performing well, and this video is not getting its views from search. So we can take tags off of the table. And even if we look at the video on YouTube, it only has 65 comments, and compared to the number of views that the video has, that's a very low number for a video on my channel. So here's an overview of how the video is performing on my channel so far. It's only been live for 5 days and 29 minutes, and it already has 6.8 thousand views. Not a lot of views to some people, but for my channel, that's exceptional. It has almost 547 watch hours, 156 subscribers, and it's made $41. But let's go back to the subscribers. So there's a typical 1% rule that I've discovered on YouTube, and a lot of people have also discovered this independently themselves. But basically 1% of the people who view your video can be expected to subscribe if the video is standard quality. And this principle holds true not just for individual videos, but for whole channels. You can look at the total number of views multiplied by 1% and see if it matches. If it doesn't match and it's more like 2 or 3%, then it's an indication that the videos are performing exceptionally well. It's great content and it's converting people to subscribers. So for this particular video, at a 1% conversion rate, I would have around 68 or 70 subscribers. But here you can see that I have almost 2.3 times as many subscribers as I typically would. So this is a good indication that the actual video is converting well and people enjoy the watching experience. If you look on the other side of the screen where I was just a moment ago, you can see that the majority of the views for this video are coming from browse. They're not coming from suggested. They're not coming from other channels. They're not coming from search or any of the other places where videos pop up on YouTube. It's only surfacing in browse for the most part. And it's getting a lot of views and a lot of engagement and subscribers, and it's performing really well there. But this is what YouTube actually had to say about it. Something about this video was especially appealing to your audience, causing it to be recommended on YouTube home and up next more often than usual. Reflect on what's different about this video so that you can keep making content that engages viewers. More views from YouTube recommendations. This video got 6,000 views from recommendations on YouTube home and up next. Videos on your channel typically receive 1,000 to 1,500 in this time frame. So it's outperforming my typical YouTube videos when it comes to recommendations by up to 4 times. And if we do an even deeper dive into the YouTube recommendations, we can see that YouTube home and not YouTube up next is the one that's carrying this video. So when people are opening YouTube, YouTube is placing my video on the home screen. But something that was confusing me about this video was the actual click-through rate. So if we come to the reach, we can see that this video has 70,000 impressions in only 5 days. And impressions are something that I don't think a lot of YouTube experts talk about enough, because the number of impressions can be a good indication of how well your video is received by your audience. If your audience receives the video well, then there are great chances that YouTube is going to promote it and give it more impressions. Now, whether people click on the video or not is entirely up to your thumbnail, but YouTube is going to give the video a chance once they get a good sounding from likes on the video and also from surveys that they send people to ask about the video about whether they should promote this video or not. Now, remember what YouTube said. Something about this video was especially appealing to your audience, causing it to be recommended on YouTube. So I've noticed for a very long time that subscribers are number 2 to monthly viewers, because the people who view your content on a monthly basis are your actual audience, and your subscribers are just the people who are saying, hey, I'm really interested and want to keep up with what you're talking about. And YouTube uses your individual audience to determine how well your video actually performs, not someone else's. And so I think of it like Tom Hanks in Castaway, when he was trying to get over the break point and he just couldn't get past it until he finally made this this makeshift sale and he got past it. And that's how your audience operates. When I post a new piece of content, how well it's received with my audience is going to determine if I can get beyond the break point, get recommended on YouTube, and reach new audiences, like I did in this particular instance, 4 times more than I normally do within this time frame. Let me make that clear. It's only within this 5-day time frame, but it's still a lot in my eyes. The click-through rate is only 7.2%. It's not spectacular by any stretch of the imagination. Most of my videos these days typically have around 11 to 14% click-through rate. So for this video to peak at an 8.7% click-through rate and still perform as well as it's performing right now is a little bit baffling to me. So typically what happens when you post a new piece of content and it sits well with your audience and YouTube begins to share it to more and more people, the click-through rate is naturally going to decline, because the more people they share it with, the less people who are actually going to be interested in that video. So although this video peaked at 8.7%, which is far below the typical average for my channel these days, and the fact that did have me a little baffled at first, I do understand that the click-through rate is declining at a much slower pace, given the number of impressions, than it typically would. In a typical scenario, if YouTube had given one of my other videos 70,000 impressions within 5 days, the click-through rate may have dropped to about 3 or 2%. I've seen it happen. And before you say it, I'm not saying that dropping to 2 or 3% is quote unquote a bad thing. There are videos with 2-3% click-through rate with millions of views because they kept reaching new audiences and getting more views and growing. But again, we're talking about within a 5-day time frame only, and based on my channel's experience. But I want you to see what YouTube says about the click-through rate inside of the YouTube Analytics app on my phone. If we click right here next to the click-through rate, is going to give us some information about why it's hollowed out green. It's still green, but it's hollowed out. So this is an indication that it's on the decline. The views are still going up, but the click-through rate is going down. The average view duration is going down. If we click on this, it says this video is reaching a wider audience on YouTube, leading to a lower click-through rate than usual. Wider audiences are often less likely to choose to watch a video, but the lower click-through rate is not hurting this video's view count. Now, this is what I'll say to that. I've seen that message dozens of times in the YouTube Analytics app. And one thing that's always happened after I've seen that, for the most part, is that the click-through rate would then go down again, and YouTube would say, this video is not performing as well, maybe change the title or the thumbnail, etc. And so the fact that the click-through rate is holding right here with 70,000 impressions is a good indication that this video has the potential to find even more success if it can get through this next rough patch, I think. But now let's look at the average view duration. The average view duration is about 4 minutes and 50 something seconds. So here's a chart of how well my videos typically perform, and you can see that this video is actually underperforming when it comes to the average view duration. Even with the intro, only about 61% are sticking around to continue watching the video, which is below normal. It's not typical. And even the audience that does stay to watch the video is not watching for as long as my other videos. But let's see if we can get an even more detailed understanding of what's going on here and try to make some sense of this. So let's click on the see more button. And what we want to do here is compare this video to videos of similar length on YouTube. This is an 18-minute video. So let's see how well it performs against other 18-minute videos across all genres on YouTube. And so compared to other videos, it's above average in the beginning, it's average in the middle, it's above average towards the end again, and it ends average. So it's average, above average, average, above average. It's an average video. Something else I was looking at about this video that was standing out to me was the like percentage. For a very long time, the like percentage was 100% for the first 2 or 3 days. And just recently, this video picked up 2 dislikes, but people largely like this piece of content, and they're probably responding well to the surveys also. And I'm sure that plays a part into the video being received well by my audience and getting recommended. But this is the fact that I do believe that caused this video to perform so well. If we look at the audience metric for this video, we can see that initially it performed really well with my audience. That's the purple line. So although this video has 6.8 thousand views, it only has 4,000 4,300 unique viewers. That's the number of individual people who've actually watched this video. And of those 4,300 people, 2,000 of them are returning viewers and 2,300 of them are new viewers, for an average of 1.2 views per viewer. But if we take the last 3 days off, this is what we have. For the first day, there were 900 returning viewers and 300 new viewers. And on the second day, there were 400 returning viewers and 440 new viewers. And so new viewers started to overtake the returning viewers on the second day by a slim margin. So if we round those numbers off just to keep the math simple, that would give us 1,400 returning viewers in the first 2 days and 700 new viewers, for a total of 2,100 unique viewers. At that time, the video had only received 2,890 views. And that was the first time that I finally realized that what was going on with this particular video was that the people who typically watch my content, my returning viewers, were actually returning to this particular video several times to watch the content. Because at this point, they made up 2/3 of the audience, and the video only had 2,900 views. There were only 2,100 unique viewers, and of those 2,100, 1,400 of them were returning viewers. So how do we use this information to actually get more views for our YouTube videos? Number one, your returning viewers are people who come back to your channel a lot to watch your videos. But something that's implied in the definition of a returning viewer is their satisfaction. They're happy with the content. And if your happiest viewers aren't happy with the content that you post, then it's probably not going to perform well. And if you want to know what I actually talked about in that video that made it so appealing to everyone, then you can go check it out on YouTube right now, or you can go watch this next video that's going to talk about something that a lot of creators are getting wrong. And it's the number one reason why most people are not watching their videos. They're not getting views. No one likes their content because they're not doing this one thing. If you got value out of the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.